Good morning, St. Albans. My name is Willow Cozzens, and I have been attending St. Albans ever since my family moved here from Wisconsin when I was just a toddler. When we came to Tucson, my mom, who is a former Catholic, looked for an Episcopal church to attend. She happened upon St. Albans, and it was Father Tim who brought us in and made my whole family feel welcome. I have definitely grown up with this parish. Aside from preschool and kindergarten Sunday school, I'd say my first profound memory of St. Albans is when I read a lesson in front of the church when I was in just first grade. Apparently, the scheduled lecture didn't show that day, and for whatever reason, I volunteered to read. I remember I had to stand on a stool to reach the microphone, and I could barely even reach it, let alone read a lesson in front of the whole congregation when I just barely learned to read. But I did it, and I was told I did well. Following my inspired performance, my mom told me that Father Tim spent a lot of the time in his sermon that day remarking about Little Willow, and so I was known as Little Willow for quite a few years. Those younger years here at church involved attending Sunday school and confirmation, singing in the youth choir, participating in most of the Christmas pageants. However, Sunday school and confirmation were just the precursors to what became the most meaningful part of this church for me. It started in 2006 when the St. Albans youth group came to Wisconsin for the first time and stayed at my family's resort. Back then, my sister Camille and I were too young to be actual members of the youth group, but we wouldn't have known it. Sam and Jessica Swift and all the kids and chaperones made sure to include us in every activity. We knew that these were some of the coolest people we'd ever met, and our whole family felt so lucky and so blessed to have these people come together and experience such fun and fellowship in our Northwoods. It's like the place was forever blessed by their presence, and they rewarded us by coming back. 3 years later, the second Wisconsin trip is when I think I and everyone else around my age really fell in love with the youth group. Jessica Swift came back to lead us and plan group exercises and activities for every hour of the week. This week allowed for the type of bonding that we all had not been exposed to previously. I became extremely close with everybody in the group, especially Maddie Cooper and Heather Moore. After that, we all jumped at the chance for any reason to hang out again. We knew that what we had was special, and we knew this not because we could have fun together, but because we could pray together. We truly learned the meaning of support. I'd really like to thank everyone at St. Albans. It's a long list of people where Wisconsin was concerned, but especially Father Tim, the Moores, the Swifts, the Andersons, and of course my parents, for making those Wisconsin trips happen. Even though I'm lucky to get to spend every summer at Sandy Point, nothing in my memory is more special than the weeks spent there with the St. Albans youth group. The Wisconsin trips played the largest role in the youth group bonding experience, but I also always enjoyed smaller get-togethers just as much, like pool parties, Christmas gift exchanges, disc golf days, and volleyball or football games at Udall Park. I loved the adopted family at Christmas projects and seeing those little kids receive all the generous gifts from this parish. My absolute favorite part of the school year was always the ski trip up to Pine Top, where Mr. Moore, Cody Piney's, Nick Cooper, John Hines, and I would do some serious knowledge sharing. I was devastated to see that I could not go on a ski trip, because at the time I was only 2 weeks out from my second knee surgery. I've torn both of my ACLs, right and left, playing soccer. With the support of God, my family, friends, and the people here at St. Albans, I recovered nicely from the first surgery and got back on the field. Thank you all for including me on the prayer list during my recovery. I know it helped. And thank you to Father Bruce for calling with his concerns and prayers after my most recent surgery. I'd like to thank all of you who took an interest in my 13-year soccer career, one of the main reasons I missed a lot of Sunday services, and also let you know that my club team won the bronze medal in the state cup last Sunday. And thanks a lot to Bob and Lisa Swift for not only their support, but also for coming out to watch me play for Sabino. And I also want to thank Father Smith for being kind enough to come to the surgical centers before and after both of my operations. With the help of Father Smith's prayers for God's guidance, I experienced a level of comfort that I know has helped my recovery. I'm still rehabbing my left knee, which involved medial meniscus surgery as well as ACL repair. Father Smith is very special to us. Not only was he there for my family during my personal time of need, but he also helped my extended family through an extremely difficult time when my cousin Stephanie passed away in 2002. She was only 20 years old and she suffered a fatal heart attack after taking the ephedrine. Smith was with us at the hospital that day and night as we prayed for a recovery that didn't come. He shared tears with us along with the story of his own personal loss, and we will never forget him for his kindness and his love. One of the lights we put up on the pews at the church at Christmas and Easter was donated in Stephanie's name. I hope you remember her and my aunt and uncle in your prayers next time you see those beautiful lights. But back to the youth group. Some of my greatest friendships have been facilitated by the St. Albans Youth Group, and I will never forget these people. For example, Maddie Cooper and I went to elementary and middle school together, but we went to different high schools. It was the youth group that kept us close. When Heather Moore was still in the youth group, she and Maddie and I were super tight, and I miss those days. Maddie's younger brother, Nick, is the coolest kid I know. It makes me my day every time I see him at a random event. Nick was the one who brought Mac Brown into the youth group, and I am so glad he did. When I met Mac, he was just so sweet and friendly. I knew that we would be instant good friends, and we are. I can't forget to mention John Hines, my skiing buddy, or Tanner Hoskin, who at times would annoy us all, but he was always a good friend in the end. And last but not least, I want to shout out to Cody Feindies for being there for me whenever I needed him and always entertaining me to no end. These are just a few of the lifelong friendships I've been fortunate enough to form in the St. Albans Youth Group. I'd also like to thank Jolie and CJ for keeping up with the youth group this past year. Now, in just 11 short days, and only 28 more hours of class, not that I'm counting, I will graduate in the top 5% of my class at Sabino High School. Next year, I will attend the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Although I'm looking forward to moving away and starting fresh, I will miss not only my family and friends, but also my family here at St. Albans. Thank you all for being here for us, for helping me to learn and understand God is always there to help guide me in my future endeavors away from home. Thank you.